In this video, I'm going to take this orange icing and make it burnt orange. And burnt orange has more red in it and it has more brown. If you have brown food coloring, it's pretty easy to make orange into burnt orange because it's very orange. Burnt orange, obviously brown, has a lot of orange in it. But orange, if you watch the other video, is just red and yellow. And to make brown, you really have to put all the colors in. I did another video where I mixed brown and it's all of the primaries. It's a little trickier. I'm going to see what happens with this because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm trying to get it to one of these shades right here. This is kind of, it's a very reddish orange. It's very dark. It's brown. You know the color. Okay, so we're talking autumn leaves. Let me go with first, I'm going to get a little bit more red and just make this as red as I can without making it completely red. I am going to use the toothpicks because I want to control the amount of red that I'm putting into the icing. And you can do that with a toothpick. You can't do it if you're dropping stuff in. But I am going to put in this is a lot. That's a lot of red. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And never put the toothpick back into the food coloring once it's got the icing on it because it'll contaminate it. But you want to get this as dark as you can without making it just be red because you do want to keep that orange tint to it. This might be all I need to do, honestly. I mean, I might not need to add, I was going to say I might not need to add the blue, and I am going to try to stick with the primaries. Obviously, if you have brown food coloring, just put it in here. That'll help. But see, this is just really, this is a very bright, like a very bright pumpkin orange, which would work if that's what you're looking for, but I want to make it darker along those lines. Okay, so this has a lot of, I mean, this is a ton of red. Proportionally, you can see that. And I do want to brown this down, and the way that you make brown is all of the primary colors mixed together. So I'm going to get risky. Let's do the blue. I'm going to use a toothpick. Now this will kind of take the color kind of to, I don't want to say like a neutral position, but the blue in there, when you mix all the primaries together, you get brown. So this is going to take it down more toward the brown. Yeah, this is a lot. You want to take this down, and then you're going to have to come back with more orange, it looks like. This is actually pretty good as far as a brown goes, but I think that we're going to add some more red to it. Because if I add more yellow to this, it is going to make it more orangey. And I want like a bright orange though. I don't want to make it more, I don't want to make it brighter. I want to tone it, I want to take it darker. So let's get the red again. I'll just use the same toothpick. I'll put some more red in there. And we'll see what happens with this. And red is a very strong color, so you don't need much to change the tone. But it looks like I am going to need more this time, because that blue took it down, but it's a very orangey brown. I would not call this burnt orange quite yet, although it is getting close. It's very close. I think it still is, I don't know. I mean, is that burnt orange? I think it's a little too brown. I think it needs to have a little more red in it. And I did keep the orange. This is the orange color before I started mixing it. So you can see that blue really, really dropped it down. So let's get some more red. Oh, the red scares me. Honestly, red scares me as a color because when you mix it in, it just takes everything so far in the direction you don't want it to go that you then have to, kind of fix it. You can always add more white if you get to a color where you're like, oh, that's just not right, and you need to thin it out. Just add more white icing, and that'll tone it down. And you can kind of start over. But you also want to make sure that you are that you make more of the icing than you think you're going to, because imagine trying to color match this. If I ran out in the middle of a cake, it would be really hard to get back to the color that you're looking for. Okay, now this actually, that is bringing it a lot closer to these colors. Can you see that? That's not, oh, I should have taken let me take a little sample of this too. It's bringing it a lot closer to the orange as opposed to just the brown. Okay, I'm putting a lot more red in there. I'm going to put everything from that toothpick in here. Oh, let's see what happens. And like I said, I don't want to add more yellow because I think that would take it too far in the other direction, but I'm not sure at this point how, no, it's going. I was going to say, I'm not sure how much the red is tinting it. It comes a point where you just add more color and not a whole lot happens. But I think that this actually is looking pretty good as far as a burnt orange color goes. So essentially what I did, I made the orange. I started with yellow, added some red to get it to orange, and then I put some blue in it, just a little bit. That tones everything down to a brown, and then I'm bringing it back to a burnt orange color. I think that's actually pretty good. I think if I was going to do burnt orange leaves on a cake or something like that, that's a good color. So I'm going to stop there. I think that that was enough. And let me put this, I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference very much. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I can see the difference. I'm not sure how the light is. Let me move this out of the way. Obviously this is orange. This is the brown and a little bit more red. And then as you add more red, it's bringing it back to an orange tone. So this is a little too brown. This, you could even add some more red. And just for fun, I'm going to add some more red and see what happens. Like, can I get it? Because it's pretty close to the, oh, that's a lot of red. It's pretty close to these paint samples. But if I add all that red in, I think it's on the spatula. It's not really getting mixed in. Yeah, I think we're at the point now where I'm going to add more color and it's not going to do very much. That just seems to happen. You get to the point with food coloring where it's not going to change the color that substantially. I could add some more white in there and kind of tone it down. Oh, that looks good. Okay, maybe this is it. Okay. I think basically, let's put a little bit on here. You can see it gets just a little bit, I don't know how well you can see it, but it gets a little bit more red over here. There's definitely a difference between these two. And if we're looking at this color, now we're here. So that's a good burnt orange. It's a little, I could maybe add some yellow to get it to this, but we're here right now. So depending on what tone you want, you could go a little bit further, add some yellow to it. It would bring it back to this. I think that's good for a burnt orange. So start with a yellow, add a little red to get to orange, then put some blue in, and then bring it back with the red. And that's it. Okay, leave me any questions and I will talk to you later.